commissioners in Parliament, you were an MP, sat down. It is the body that distributes money for MPs. Sat down, after making allocations, they also took a service award. What would be your comment about this?
I'll take you, you know, I hear so many things. There's just too much money in this at this time. It's good we planned in those. There's too much money in government. Because I want to tell you, the first time I went there, I was representing Kampala. And because I was a minister, I earned the 80,000 shillings. There was no allowance from Parliament because 80,000. The dollar was 1,500.
80,000 emitwalo munana.
Yes.
Monthly?
Monthly.
As a minister?
As a minister. And there was no sitting allowance in Parliament. Nothing. So you get your salary. So those who are not ministers were paid salaries as the MPs.
How much?
And they got no sitting allowance. I don't remember. They got no sitting allowance. Now, when I had left, I was told ministers were agitating to be paid as members of Parliament. Why? Because they put in place this commissioners, and now they are the ones who determine how much people should pay.
Yes.
So a member of Parliament was getting more than a minister. So they changed, and the ministers are also paid as members of Parliament. So now, when they sit in committee, they get a sitting allowance.
Yes.
When you call them for a workshop, they get a sitting allowance.
You think this is too much?
It is too much. It is wrong. How do you get somebody paid, if somebody gets 40 million shillings for those who live far, that money should, in allowances apart from the salary.
Actually, that's what I interviewed.
Then they also go out. They go out. They go out. They go. It's just like the whole thing is like a katemba.
So you think the problem is the body as Parliament having too much money at their disposal?
They give it to themselves. And because they, according to the law, they have oversight over the executive and the budget, they can refuse to give you the budget. So it seems there is now collusion. Hey, if you don't give us this, we shan't give you.
We'll stand in the way of this.
It is really, I call it criminal. Because there is premeditation to defraud the people of Uganda legally.
I am getting to follow your observation. So, is the problem power for is Parliament's power to pay self the problem?
You know, it is one knowing what the problem of our country is. If you go to Parliament,
yes,
as a job, you will seek for that power. But if you don't, you will even say, please, Mukendezeko, let that money go and do ABCD. Now you look at children, what do you want to be? I want to be an MP. I want to be a minister.
Yeah.
For me, I always said, you know, that is not a profession that I'm a MOP. That is you go to serve. That's why it's a contract. People give you a contract. So children don't now say, I want to be a media person.
I want to be a doctor. I want to be a journalist.
No, they want to be president. They want to be vice president. They want to be
because
prime
these things
minister.
Have become lucrative.
Who are your role models? SPECIOZA, Kadaga, not as Dr. Supe or anything. No.
They don't admire you because of being doctors.
No.
But because you were vice president.
Because you are there and you are very smart and the people are following you and they are saluting you.
Yes.
Which is really terrible. Then you go to a mukolo, even a minister, they bring a special chair for you. The secretary is a carpet. They bring it.
But, did you have this as vice president? A small carpet and a chair?
I didn't. The president, the only person who should be like that is the fountain of honor.
Wapi, that was your
If
time.
I'm there to represent him, I find the carpet. But if I'm there alone, you know, he's the fountain of honor. In any case, how many carpets did we have? My salary as a vice president was 140,000.
Mama, you are on TV.
Go and check. The president was 150,000.
Shillings?
Yes.
When was that? Between 1990 something and 2000?
All the time I was vice president. I became vice president in 19, is it? Hey.
1993, 94?
94.
Yes.
And then I left in 2001. Yes. And when I left...
2001, I was paying school fees around 70,000 shillings.
You were in a private school.
How can a vice president
You were in a private... They had the money. You were in a private school. Yes. In a primary. My children were going to Kiswa. Primary school. I think I was paying about 15,000. Yes. My girls went to Kiswa Primary School.
No, I'm talking about secondary school. Senior, 2001, I was around senior one.
Boarding.
No.
No. You are talking about at the time I left.
Yes.
That is when things had started picking up.
Okay.
So I left.
You left happy?
I left happy.
Okay. But right now,
and the corruption had started.
Now, there is a move to impeach these commissioners. Would you support it?
I would.
Why?
Why not?
Because you say the problem
I've already told you.
According to what you say,
yes,
the problem is general. There is too much money at their disposal wrongly.
That is why we are to rename PE. You know, when you eat too much, more than what you should take,
yes,
hey, the system starts belching. Uganda is belching. We are just fed up. People you send there to provide oversight over your cooperative money, they basoka kwetemerako. Is that really something which is, I don't know.
But this is just a group of 5 people?
But they are doing that for everybody. Now, when they do that, where in your appointment does it say you'll get gratuity every year as a member of parliament? Where does it? Because your contract ends
5 years.
5 years. But is there any place unless they made it themselves? Otherwise, there was no gratuity. That's why you hear people that this parliament now, for us, we never got anything like gratuity.
The country was poor.
Yes.
During your time.
Even the pension, people had so many problems.
Okay.
Even my father, who is 98, his gratuity from ESC has not come. And yet he was a simple man working, afuna akasala katono, then he would get gratuity, then he gets his, but even up to now, his gratuity he has not received. He's 98. His colleagues have died.
Service award, you support the impeachment. I'm away from that.
Service for what?
As
did
MPs,
you study to be an MP?
They served as commissioners.
Commissioner, is it a professional job?
It's a national service.
Well, so is everybody else. But this one, where later, you volunteered. that Ugandans are here, we volunteer. MPs are volunteers.